Africa have only gone and made history in the Women's World Cup 2025. My word, South Africa, I think they share the name Springboks with the male Springboks. I think they need a different name. Personally, it gets too confusing. I've heard the word the Gazelles being pushed around, which I actually kind of like. So I'm going to stick with the Gazelles. So that's how I'm going to refer to them in this video. The Gazelles, they made history, putting through a brilliant performance up against Italy. And my word, did they deserve every single second of it. They deserved every single second. They have made history and they're into the quarterfinals. After their previous wins, putting in, a good shift. Hele putting in a very good shift. Ruas, brilliant shift. They did it. They came through as underdogs. The Springboks were ranked 12th in the world rankings. It's a very big difference between men and women's. Men are known to be one of the best teams in world rugby ever to grace the field. Women's not so much. That is kind of ruled by the likes of the Black Ferns, Canada, the women's team, and England. That's kind of dominated the top of the rankings. But the Springboks, they came through. There were far more Italian players that are professionals on the side. But it was that grit. It was that determination. This is the first time the Gazelles have made it to the quarterfinals. This is a moment in history. This is a moment that, as a South African, you cannot help but be proud. To see these women put everything on the line and come through with a win. They are not just fighting. They are not just playing. They are playing with the hopes of a nation behind them, the same way South Africa did in 1995 when we ended up winning the World Cup over New Zealand. Honestly, it's been done before. Could it happen again? Could we see the Springboks with everything against them? The Gazelles with everything against them, with the country behind them. Could we see the Springboks or the Gazelles? Could we see the Gazelles up against all the odds come away with a win, come away as champions? Personally, anything is possible when it comes to world rugby. When it comes to knockout rugby, anything is possible, as we saw with Italy. The Springboks, they should have lost. Apparently not. Next is not going to be any easier, though. Next, we're up against France, who, again, we are coming through as underdogs. Can we win? There's every possibility that we can win. Has this win up against Italy given the Gazelles that confidence, that motivation to come through in the next week and come through with a win? 100%. I think it's possible. I think it might even be on the cards. Yes, that might be me being ever hopeful that the Gazelles can come through with more wins and, more good performances. Right now, the players that we have are putting in these performances. Right now, these women are paving the way for the next generation, because all of the women, all of the men are watching these games and they are seeing hard-fought performances. Really, really hard-fought performances. Now, next week, Sunday the 7th, the South African women, the Gazelles, will be playing France's women's side. The last game that they ended up having, I believe France won. But, my word, this is going to be interesting. This is going to be interesting. If South Africa can come through with a win over here, round 3, if they can come through with a win over here, that's just going to give them that extra boost. Go on, get further. Once they start playing those true knockout rugby games, everything's going to be on the line. I think if they're able to come through with solid wins, people are going to start, putting a bit of respect on the Gazelles' name. They are going to be putting, they aren't going to be going in easy. Because if there's anything that we as South Africans are are resilient. We fight to the end, and we play some of our best rugby when our backs are into a corner. You know, we are struggling with the underdogs. You don't think we're going to win, and that is exactly when we put in those performances and come through with a win. So right now, we look at the world rankings. England are dominating with 97 points, you know, killing it, 7 points ahead of Canada, who are second. But after that win, South Africa have cracked the top 10. They were 12th. After that win, they cracked the top 10. So right now, we have England, Canada, New Zealand, France, Ireland, Scotland, Australia, USA, Italy, and RSA, South Africa. This is a big moment. South Africa's cracked the top 10. Yes, the team that we are going to be playing is placed 4th in the world, just as their male counterparts are in the men's rugby. But I'm hopeful. I'm really hopeful. I think we can do this, guys. Share the support, share the love, follow the Gazelles, and let's just get behind this team. Because if we can make more history, my word, that would be great. So calling out all South Africans, anybody that likes the South African and likes to watch rugby, please back the Gazelles, back the women's rugby, because we need it. And it can happen. South Africa to win the 2025 Women's Rugby World Cup. I like the sound of that. I like that. It's got a good vibe to it. But anyway, let me know what your thoughts are. Drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Can it happen? What's the likelihood of it happening? And who do you think is going to win the World Cup? I'll catch you guys later. Bye.